you heard them as well in their interviews earlier. I mean, somewhat jokingly saying, our best strat against UK teams is just to send Ardis in first. We'll see if they do that here, because we are ready to head into our first semi-final. Fierce against Wind and Rain, and Wind and Rain are starting on that T side. A couple of mollies in play as they look to get aggressive early.
Well, LNZ stood away, throwing the Molotov in towards Connector. Heavy stack in towards Ivy from the CT side, but Wind and Rain are running right in towards B. It's only Astro here in the backlines. LNZ finding the first kill, but Astro doing damage towards the backlines, connecting on towards Brody, but he's overrun by Swaggy, so we're back into a 3v3.
Kit in the hands of Jenko, as well as a smoke if he needs it, but Swaggy pushing in for a couple of kills, and it's all on Jenko, trying to come back into this one. Swaggy comes in from the back lines, and that's exactly what Wind and Rain wanted on their pistol.
They need to get off to that good start, and you can see every single player in high spirits. The first fist bumps coming in, they're confident after winning that pistol round, but it's important that they carry that momentum into this next round. We know how strong this second round 4 spy can be. And well, you can take a look here over on Fierce. They've got a few scouts in play. Over on Wind and Rain, they've got the MAC-10s, they've got the Galils, and they've got an SG in the hands of Swaggy.
Clearly seeing some tactical prowess coming out early from Wind and Rain, though. A little fake sold onto the A site using that molly. They managed to go back to B. They managed to get the site pretty quickly with some fast trades, and then Swaggy decides to push into the back lines, which was a risk, but it was a risk worth taking, and Jenko taking some damage there.
Yeah, taking quite a bit of damage, actually. Forced away from that angle. Forced to go and try and find somewhere else to fight from. As they start to make their way through, Wind and Rain coming through. Close by to a Molotov as the flash goes into the open. Astro hits the tag. LNZ finished off, and Ardis will be able to find himself a kill on towards Tadpole. Man advantage here for Fierce.
Could be an important man advantage. A minute remaining for Wind and Rain to come back into this round. Look undecided as to where they are ending this round right now. Jenko holding this angle. Doesn't connect the shot. Swaggy, though, unable to do too much in reply. Jenko just about surviving on a slither of health. And Wind and Rain will try and see if they can push through. Ardis misses that first shot, misses the second. And now Wind and Rain can try and wrap round CT.
Well, Fry close by with the CZ. Still 4v4 shot landed on the scouts. Going to be a kill from Fries. The bomb rolls to his feet. He'll be looking for another one, but Swaggy is picking up kill after kill. And another one coming in from Swaggy. He's had a great start so far. Another 4K added to the collection, and he's looking for the ace at this point. But he's got the bomb in his hands, and Impulse will drop him. Still 1v3, the first kill collected, 10 seconds. All he needs to do is deny the bomb plant, but it's easier said than done. LNZ covers off his teammate, and that could have been horrible for the T side.
Yeah, Wind and Rain spreading out fairly heavily across the map in this round, which was definitely a risk. Almost comes back to cost them, especially as Impulse was in such a sneaky position. He definitely could have got that done. I think if he doesn't have the CZ in particular, he might have been able to get those further frags through. But it is Wind and Rain to hold on. Swaggy with back-to-back quad kills to start off this map. A very nice way for him to start things off. And now that they're against the low buy, they should be in good shape. Although Ardis has landed a nice shot. Ping also goes down, and Ardis gets his second on the round. It's back to a 2v2, but Tadpole pushes in, and now it's just the USP of Astro left. He won't be winning this fight. Wind and Rain do close it out.
For me, the scary sign here for Wind and Rain, the fact that, yes, they've won the 3-0, but the problem is in every single one of these rounds against the low buy, the pistols, they've been pulled back into losing 3 players, right? So that's going to really do damage to that economy. You can see how much money they have left over in the bank after investing. It's not great. So Tadpole eventually invest in the AK. I thought he was going to keep the CZ there for a second. I'll be definitely questioning that. Super late buy coming in from Tadpole. But Wind and Rain, 3-0 up, can start to dictate the pace. Start to really play their game, see what they've got in the back pocket in terms of set pieces, strategies. I want to see if they have any tactical depth here in the gun rounds.
Yeah, we were saying they looked well prepared for that pistol. Just a case of whether they can carry that through into these gun rounds. Smoke down the ramp obscures some vision from the Fierce side. The Orb of Impulse is currently holding on this B side of the map. Wind And Rain slowly but surely setting things up. A couple of nades being deployed. We'll see if they commit off the back of this. Astro mollied off this position. He's blinded and he is dealt with.
Yeah, he's in the open there. Unfortunate for him. Does get a caught off by LNZ as they start to move forward. Wind and Rain taking the bomb site by storm. They've got so much control here. It's going to be difficult for Fierce, but Impulse hitting shots. Too collective for him as he heads back in towards the bomb site. Bomb planted. Wind and Rain holding on, but it's still a 3v3. Impulse is making it doable for the CT side as Fierce need to get back in. Brody stuck on default, should be good for at least one kill, but his teammates doing work. Swaggy with the pickup, continuing his great form, but Impulse, another shot connected. Impulse with a quad kill, and it's all on Tadpole. Time to go into a frog, 1 versus 2 as he goes forward. The nade lands, it does damage, and the follower can't come through. Artis gets the trade, but is there time? The answer is no. No kit on the back of Artis, and it's Wind and Rain going 4-0 up. Tadpole does enough to delay.
Yeah, nicely done. Impulse in particular doing damage on the site, but it was not enough this time round. Wind and Rain just about edge out that first round win they were looking for. First gun round win, I should say. And this is exactly the start that they would have liked to see. That nade deployed perfectly onto the site itself. If Artis had the kit, he would have probably had time, but doesn't come through for Fierce. They will save the one gun over, but the rest of the squad stuck on pistols. And this is really going to give Wind and Rain the best chance possible at the start of this game here. Getting off to a good start, putting some pressure on Fierce. We'll see how they respond to it as Artis tries to get aggressive. Can't find any players, though. He will be backing off.
Wind and Rain looking solid at the start of train here. Yes, a lot of the rounds have come close, but they've been winning them, and that's the important fact, right? You need as many rounds as you can get on the T side. Real solid chance here to go 5-0, but they've lost the first man. Krieg picked up in the corner. Fry goes unchecked. First kill, the second in as well, and Fierce out of nowhere steal that one away.
Well then, that seems to be a snap back to reality for Wind and Rain, getting absolutely crushed as they try and push into the A site. That one SG, as you said, doing a decent amount of damage there. We also saw the first player from Wind and Rain pushing out very much alone, which was somewhat of an issue for them in some of their earlier rounds when they were against the Pistols. They didn't look comfortable because they were pushing so far apart from each other, trying to make the solo plays. And as soon as Fierce start to win the fights, that's always going to be a problem. The nade is well timed from Artis. He's about to spot plenty of players and gets one, but the trades come back. Nice shots from Wind and Rain.
Jenko holding on as the push coming out of the corner. He'll be holding on as the Molotov goes deep in towards Ivy, and that forces Wind and Rain back.
Back with some guns though. AWP for Brody, M4 for Tadpole.
Look at this push. Jenko's in a great position all the way up in T-Con, so as soon as Wind and Rain come around this corner, they go in towards that position, they've got no chance.
Plenty of time left on the clock though, so they don't have to commit to anything. No noise being made across the map right now. Both teams deciding to slow things down after the early action. With Fierce only having 3 players left, it's not going to be easy for them to predict where their opponents are coming from. They've got to make the information play, and speaking of, this is a lot of information.
27 seconds left. When Rain's starting to walk contact in towards ramp, but at the ready, Fry's just spotting them coming in. Astro in a great position, that's the bomb on the floor. He stays alive as well, and they have to go towards him. Tadpole wins that infight. Bomb plant can come through here for Wind and Rain. Fry holding, waiting for mistakes, trying to delay as his teammates coming in with a flank. It's all onto Tadpole. The 1 versus 2 as he goes back in towards the ramp, and he will lose his head. Jenko picking him up, showing that Fierce maybe aren't so trash.
Not so trash after all. Doing a decent job there at picking it up. And there you go. You see Astro starting to slightly hype his team. Doesn't need to be hyping them up too much yet, though, because this is kind of according to plan at this point of the game for Fierce, getting some of these rounds back. 2 rounds on the board for Fierce, and Wind and Rain do not have the money to work with. A couple of flashbangs picked up by LNZ, pistols on the rest of the players. This is a good chance for them to turn it up on the Wind and Rain side of things, maybe do some damage, try and keep Fierce somewhat limited, but you would expect Fierce to win this round.
I think Wind and Rain just need to keep up the pace, right? They need to keep those fights going, and Fry's going to find himself a kill. Artist stepping up as well, but finally a kill coming through here from Wind and Rain, but it's a cleanup as Artist is starting to build momentum, starting to build confidence. And this is a really scary sign if you're over on Wind and Rain, because the players are starting to activate here on Fierce.
Yeah, and again, you can see this is what Fierce were expecting to come through, just consistently winning the rounds. But we have now got the first AWP out for Wind and Rain. Brody gets that into his hands. Definitely a decent player for this Wind and Rain squad. I think normally middle of the pack. We'll see if he can have impact now that he's got the sniper. It's Impulse going down early. Great shot from Brody, pre-aiming that position into ramp. Normally the CT AWP should be favored on that sort of angle, but Impulse unable to win that opening battle, so Wind and Rain get a 3-man advantage.
Wind and Rain can start to slow the play, start to feel much more confident in their approach here. Yes, being observed by the wonderful Jakey. Wind and Rain setting up in towards T-Con. Front man is Swaggy. He's moved through already. Fry close by on the brown train. Has the backup of Jenko from the side, but Arda is able to pick out one. Finally, Fry springing into action, finding the extensive kill here for the CT side. Jenko getting another, but Brody will keep it within touching distance. It's 2v2 as they move in towards the bomb site. 45 seconds on the clock. Wind and Rain pushing forward. Fierce just need to hold on. They've got 2 players on full HP. Inside of the connector is one, but Astro is gone. It's all on Jenko, and he can't get the lineup. What a recovery from Wind and Rain.
And another round where one of the individuals steps up for Wind and Rain. This time Brody finds a quad kill with the AWP. First time he gets it into his hands, he found the opening for the team. He found a ton of those trades as they entered the A bomb site. We're seeing what we need to see from Wind and Rain right now. Different individuals stepping up in these rounds. Maybe some of them have been somewhat quiet. Ping's only down there on 1 kill, but he's not necessarily expected to be a massive fragger. And then Tadpole hasn't maybe had as many massive plays, but he's won that clutch round for his team. They've all been doing what they need to just grind out these round wins from the T side. And 7 or 8 rounds isn't looking out of the question on their T side of train right now.
And that's exactly what we were kind of hoping for coming into this. Wind and Rain showing us that they've got the potential to take Fierce down here on trade. It's a must-win for them in the series. Fierce are definitely favoured on the remaining 2 maps. Being up on top, Pop Dog. He's going to drop the ladder, trying to bait Fry into the open. It's not going to work for him. Fry just kind of looks at his feet. He knows that one. He's not going to try and fall in. He's not going to fall for it. 48 seconds left. Wind and Rain still slowing the pace, playing the default, hoping the Fierce make a mistake. Someone swings into one of their crosshairs and they can get that opening kill, but it's not coming easily.
Smokes down from the CT side, but Wind and Rain are about to use their nades as they look into this A bomb site. Ardis holding on top of the green train, but Jenko lines them up. Ardis comes in to assist. Tadpole using that Galil, using it effectively, but it's not enough for his team. Those opening kills from Jenko came way too easily. He spots the 2 players trying to push through the smoke. As soon as the flashbang is unsuccessful, it's always going to be a problem for Wind and Rain. And once they lose those opening trades, it's really difficult to come back into it. Ooh, it's just a last-second force buy from Wind and Rain. A couple of rifles, but they're really not much.
Well, Wind and Rain gathered outside the brown holes. They've got themselves a really scrappy buy here, but we'll see what they can do with it. Fierce looking to just try and shut this one down again. If they can start to do that consistently, that's when the momentum builds, the confidence, and, well, the momentum of Wind and Rain stops as well. So gathering in towards B. Going to be a contact push through the ramp. Flashes up. An explosion is ready to come through the ramp from Astro. Doesn't get a single kill. Either does Impulse. So the bomb plant might just come through here from Wind and Rain. In fact, it definitely does. With Tadpole down 11. Wind and Rain have a chance to even win this if they can just win a couple of these aim battles, but Impulse up on top, finds a crucial kill on towards Ping. Moving forward, Swaggy spotted. The recovery's definitely coming through here from Fierce, but Wind and Rain, they've done damage already. They've got their goal of the bomb plant, and anything more than this is just a bonus. All in LNZ, headshot connected, going back for a second, but Fry puts him in the grave and cleans it up for Fierce. They lose 2 players, and they concede a bomb plant, but they'll be happy they just got that run on the board, because that could have been far, far worse.
Yeah, big whiff from Astro there at the start of the round. I mean, maybe he just can't live up to the pressure of being in Hawker's all-time MVP lineup.
What a prestigious thing that is.
I'm sure it's in his head. I'm sure he cares a lot about that. But no, seriously, Fierce doing a decent job just at making sure they stay on top of it. I've been impressed by Impulse early on into this one because he has maybe had some issues, I think, finding his place in this Fierce team. There's a lot of players that want to frag on this Fierce squad, and so Impulse's AWP sometimes doesn't have as much room to work with. Speaking of those AWPs, though, both of them currently on the B side of the map. Impulse and Astro trying to hold off on this B side of things.
That nade actually would have dropped Ping if he was standing over to the left, so it's not stuff that he was further away, but the nade damage coming through here from Fierce. Ready and poised to take the lead on the CT side. Good kill from Impulse, continuing to hit shots. I think this guy is a player that has so much potential as well. We've seen him start to come through these UK teams. He started playing at Endpoint. We've seen him have potential in Serbia as well. Really solid player with a lot of potential, and he's hitting some great shots so far. Back and looking towards T-Con, where Jenko's currently trying to drop Ping. Somehow Ping is still alive. He's been low HP for the longest of times, but finally he meets his demise. And it's Jenko with the double. 6-5 as Fierce Esports head into the lead here on Train.
Yeah, and as much as Wind and Rain got off to a good start in this game, this is where you wonder if they start to fall slightly flat. Yeah, they had some good ideas. Yes, they had the individuals show up, but Fierce are having their own players start to show up now. It's also a situation where Wind and Rain have been losing these previous rounds quite convincingly, so they need to make sure they stay in a positive mindset heading into this next gun round. 5 rounds on their T side isn't too bad, and Swaggy can see the gun barrel. He's wanting this kill so badly. There is a Molotov in the hands of Tadpole behind him, so you'd think that they could deploy that soon. Tadpole, sorry, is in upper, so they wait patiently, and Swaggy is always going to win that fight.
Easy enough for him as he moves forward. Jenko looks to pick up on this one. Swaggy and Jenko wins it. A crucial kill to find. And Swaggy a little bit off there on the spray. Jenko going aggressive again, though, a little bit needlessly. And Ping's just waiting for that. He's waiting for that mistake to get over-aggressive. And then he takes him away. So Artis moving forward in towards T-Con. Trying to spot the players in Pop Dog, but Ping hasn't moved. He's still sitting here waiting for them. And they're just going to keep walking in towards his crosshair. Impulse coming through the back lines. Needs to pick up more than just the one, though.
It's the 2 AWPs left for Fierce in this clutch attempt. 40 seconds left on the clock for them to try and pull this one back, and you can see just how passive some of these AWPers are playing. Impulse is basically conceding the A site, and Brody is ready for that angle. I think Astro can probably safely save at this point, but he's decided he's going to have a little look, see if there's anything available to him. I'm not sure if there will be, though. Wind and Rain should be winning this round as long as they don't make any mistakes.
Honestly, really impressed by the level of CS coming in from Wind and Rain, right? At the start of this, they haven't been out of it. They've been really looking solid in a lot of these aim fights as well. And that's something we thought they'd be a little bit behind on, right? Was the individual skill. But they're packing a punch. And while Fierce are making a lot of mistakes, they find that kill initially. Jenko finds a really good kill. Then they can just sit back, wait for Wind and Rain to make their play. But then we see 2 players get over-aggressive here on the CT side, throw away their lives twice to Ping, and suddenly you just can't win that round anymore. So really strange stuff coming in from Fierce. Hopefully they settle into the game a little bit more.
We'll see if they can. Here are those kills coming in from Ping. Pretty easy stuff on the SG, and then Brody was just ready for this angle. Impulse was playing it so safe on the A site, which was somewhat expected. Technical pause coming through. So we'll see how long this takes to sort out. It has been a pretty explosive start to the game for both of these teams. They've both found success in some of these rounds. I think overall, Wind and Rain have got to be the happier of the teams right now, but Fierce have been fighting back.
I mean, I would say you can probably see the facial expressions to sort of determine that. But then again, that's Fry's happy face, so we never really know. Wind and Rain certainly looking really solid at the minute on their map pick. You can see why they've picked into it. The T side is strong from them. Honestly, if they lose every single round on on the rest of the T side, well, they're happy already. They've got 6 on the board. That's really solid stuff coming in the T side of Trin. Definitely win games off the back of it. So they'd obviously want a little bit more. And they're in a good position to get it because, honestly, Fierce are not looking too great. They've been making a lot of mistakes. They've been looking a little bit rough on the individual side of things as well. On certain players, you know, seeing some whiff spread-ons when they're coming in towards the ramp. You can't be getting a situation like that and not getting at least one, right? Especially when you're up against pistols, you've got an AUG, you've got a scope, there's no excuses. You have to get that one kill. One is even a little bit of a failure, right? You kind of want a little bit more than that. So, yeah, Fierce looked a little bit off. They're looking weakened, and that's a good chance here for Wind and Rain to maybe pull an upset again.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Wind and Rain will be thinking to themselves right now. Definitely looks like Fierce are there for the taking. In terms of fragging, it has been more Fierce getting the kills on the board, but again, some of those close rounds have gone the way of Wind and Rain, so that doesn't necessarily matter too much. It feels like when Fierce have been winning their rounds, that they have been somewhat convincing for the most part. They've had 1 or 2 rounds where they've had all their players survive, which I'm sure helps. Whereas for Wind and Rain, again, they've had Swaggy, who got off to a great start. He slowed down slightly. Some of the other players have stepped up alongside him. Haven't maybe seen as much from Tadpole, apart from that 1 round he won in the clutch, but they've been able to do what they've needed to up until this point. The question is, can they keep it going? We are back into the action and back with another full buy for both teams.
Oh, that's pretty damn close. Brody is the second attempt on towards the stop sign player, but doesn't walk away with a kill. Astro, aggressive, in towards the ramp, trying to force the issue. Oh, he doesn't see the head! He doesn't see the head over the top of the smoke, and LNZ will take that kill. Opening frag found, and the B bomb site is completely open. Fry rotating in to try and patch the hole, but the water is coming in already. The Wind and Rain players flowing in towards the B bomb site as Fry has to back in behind the smoke. Fierce Esports on the back foot again. Do they even want to go for this?
There's so many angles you have to clear as you come back into this B site. So many awkward spots, but Jenko's got the opening frag. They're going to need a whole lot more, though. Plenty of nades left. Wind and Rain can use those to slow down the retake attempt. Jenko's hanging around, but I don't think they're going for it. I think they've realized this round is done. And Astro's had a really rough start to this game. I'm surprised he got so aggressive there.
Yeah, the Hall's aggression on his own, right? It's fine if you have one player in connector and he's looking in towards the B-bomb side quickly. But Fry was far away. Astro pushes up, doesn't spot the player in the smoke, gets dropped, and there's no time for Fry to get back in through connector between that smoke landing in front of his face. So you can see how much of a good time Wind and Rain are having. Any sort of question marks whether or not they'll be comfortable on land, I think they've all been answered. I think they're looking really solid. And while Fierce are making a lot of unconventional mistakes, really, for this roster, maybe disrespecting their opponents a little bit too much. Maybe starting to get into their heads, you know, what's going on? We should be winning this.
Yeah, definitely nice to see Wind and Rain so relaxed so early on into this series. Nade down onto Fry, does a fair bit of damage. Artist getting aggressive. This is something you can expect to see from this man, especially against the UK teams. He likes to just try and take fights as much as he can, and LNZ just gives away his life.
Done that a few times now, where he's tried to sort of bait the shots out, bait the peek in from Fry, but it hasn't really worked this time, and all the kills coming in from Wind and Rain. Suddenly, a 3K across the board comes through. Swaggy with 2, 1 from Ping. Astro and Artist having to pull this one back. The double A combo. Oh, Astro's barrel might have been spotted there. Swaggy is going to pull his rifle. Kill comes in. It's on to Artis. He was called the secret weapon. Let's see if he can step up.
Yeah, pushed into Ivy at the start of the round, got them good damage, but now he's got to do even more. And Swaggy with another huge round for his team. So many rounds where he stepped up with multi-kills. He comes through again.
I think that's his third 4K of this game. So pretty ridiculous stuff coming in from Swaggy, who's having an absolutely nuclear performance so far. And he's one of the players, you know, we've always talked about the UKC having that potential to be a star player. Went a little bit quiet, started to come back in towards this season of Prem. And while he's showing up here on LAN, putting the numbers on the board, Astro's still on 2 kills. It's gonna, oh, he spotted the feet. They're coming in towards him again. They know that B-bomb side has a weakness and they're ready. They know they don't have the utility to have the Molotovs to slow the push, and they're on the site.
Nade going through. Not doing too much damage though, as you said, already on the bomb site. Artis trying to fight his way out of this position, but it's Tadpole and Swaggy combining for all the kills between them.
And now Impulse, 1v3. The Alper looking to do God's work here for Fierce in the last round of the half. He's got the first kill going in close in the second. Swaggy close by, and Impulse with another. Just a 1v1 up against Tadpole. No kit on Impulse. He has to move quickly, running in towards the site. Smokes off the ramp, but the time is ticking, and Tadpole's in a great position. Impulse moves in towards the bomb, checking the angles, taps, looks up towards heaven, and Tadpole knows he's off it, taps again, Tadpole drop, Impulse, is there enough time? It certainly doesn't look like it.
I think you could see by his reaction he wasn't too happy with it, and no time at the end. Wind and Rain win another tight round, but they just about hold on for a 9-6 lead coming out from their T side. This is good work from Wind and Rain. They got off to the good start we were talking about. Then they were just able to grind out these rounds, it feels like. Definitely rounds where Fierce could have come out on top, but Wind and Rain just about do enough to pick up the round win. And now they leave themselves in a really solid position heading into this second half.
Yeah, an excellent position. Wind and Rain, 9 on the board as they move into their CT side. This pistol, so important for Fierce. Smokes at the ready, heavy utility. Smoke double flash and Impulse. Astro with a Molotov and a smoke. We'll see what Fierce have in their back pocket here. Astro lining up a smoke. Impulse ready to toss his in towards the A-bomb site. As Astros heads in towards Ivy, 1 for the right side of the bomb train. From the T side's perspective, as they start to come on in towards the site, Brody in Hell has got players coming in towards his position. Fry blinded, but he's on the other end of the green train. As he peeks in towards Tadpole, there can be a double peek here as Brody able to trade back, gets vengeance for his teammate, and it's on to Jenko, Impulse, and Artis to pull this off for the T side, and it just isn't working. Wind and Rain, we maybe said the one thing they fall short on is the firepower against Fierce Esports. Well, it certainly hasn't been the case. They've looked dominant as it's all on Impulse in a 1 versus 2.
Smoke for the bomb. Impulse, yeah, he's got to move in. He's got to go now. Quick kill onto the first man, but he can't find the follow-up. Ping can just stick the bomb. They knew Impulse was so far away, and Ping even lands the shot at the end.
They're just feeling in control right now, Wind and Rain. They find the pistol in the second half as well. They've got 10 rounds on the board. This is not the start that Fierce Esports were hoping for, and I'm sure the cage is rattled. You know, it comes down to mental games. A lot of these UK teams, when they came into it as heavy favourites, they sometimes crumble under the pressure, right? We can't lose to these guys. We're looking right at them, right? That's the pressure. You know, it's almost difficult to fail because you know that you're going to be looked upon with a frown, but it's going to be Impulse of 2 kills. Tadpole and Swaggy gone. Ping will pick up 1. He's been pretty damn consistent for Wind and Rain, but a good start from Fierce.
And they've still got the Galils in play for this round. Fry and Astro both combining for kills, and it's all on LNZ. 1v4. He's not going to be in the best of positions here.
That's what we're talking about when we talk about this new sort of meta that's evolving on this T side. The second round force buy, yes, the SG got increased by in price to $3,000, but the other thing is the Galil got reduced, so you can get those out immediately. Impulse had an AK because he got a little bit more damage, find a few kills here and there, and ended up just absolutely dominating them at the start of that round. So Fierce get the 7th on the board. It's important that they win that follow-up, and now their chances to compete here in the second half are relit.
Yeah, right back into this game. Again, that second round force buy, as you said, coming through. Always helps when Impulse gets 2 opening kills, just like that. And into this next round, Fierce not wasting any time, moving straight into the B-bomb site. There was a shot landed there by LNZ in the back lines, but I don't know if it will matter all that much as Fierce are already on the site.
Well, Jenko just holding on, shot coming in. Molotov up as it forces ping back. Tadpole also cannot go any further, so Fierce Esports, for me, probably best if they just save as many rifles as they can. If you take a look at their money, it's not in a good position. Wind and Rim would love to do some chip damage here to their economy, so Fierce need to be careful on the exits. They've got 2 players set up in CT spawn. The first kill coming in from Jenko. Ping still there, but the flank from Fry is in, but it doesn't matter. Jenko with a follow-up. It's going to be Fierce just backing off, saving their weapons, and Wind and Rain do the same. 10 to 8 on the board. Fierce find an important win.
Astro nearly died to the bomb there. Survives on a good 2 points of health. And we will head into the next round. Shouldn't be seeing too much coming through. I think that Fierce can now try and use that experience now that they've won that second round Force Buy. That's a really, really big round for them to win because now they can be right back in this game. It really is anyone's game at this point, but it's Wind and Rain who you'd expect to start to feel the pressure because they were looking very relaxed. They were looking very laid back. I'm not sure if they will continue to feel that way once they realize where the scoreline could be ending up. Nice shot from Swaggy, but they are moving on to the A site. Again, solid work from Fierce, just sticking together, forcing their opponents off the bomb site and getting the bomb down without requiring too many kills.
Oh, Swaggy looking for the pickup. It's Astro on the headshot coming in. A follow-up coming in from Artis as Jenko lines them up and Swaggy's gone. Tadpole in a 1 versus 3 with a USP in his hands. It just isn't going to happen as Astro flanks him from behind. 9 here on the board for Fierce. That huge gap that we started to see really start to develop. Starting to go away from Wind and Rain here. Starting to feel the pressure again, I'm sure.
We are back to another gun round, though. Fierce have got to make sure that they keep this up as we head into the later stages of this first map. A reminder, if you look in the top left of your screen, you can see this was picked by Wind and Rain. This is a map they've found quite a bit of success on, and it feels like it is a must-win for them in this series. So to see it coming so close now might be a little worrying for them, but they've got the guns in hand. Molotov will force the player back. Swaggy decides to smoke that one out. They've also got nades in play, though. 2 nades about to land, and Swaggy almost goes down, surviving on a slither of health, but he somehow catches Ardis off guard.
Wind and Rain. Swaggy at the back. Here in towards pop 10 HP. Jenko ready to just drop on him. 1 bullet would be enough. It's a double drop, and Astro gets rid of him. 4v4, even once more. As Impulse is ready to set up the smoke execute alongside his teammate Fry, as they want to enter that A bomb site yet again. Bomb at the ready. Impulse moving forward with the AWP. Brody up on top, the tip of his head can be spotted, but Impulse cannot see him. He hasn't clocked it in, but eventually will see him. The kill comes through. Brody gone, and it's going to be a 4v3. The man advantage here on the T side as Tadpole finds a kill. Fry able to find a little bit more here as a follow-up comes in, and Impulse finishes off the job. It's 10-10, and the lead that Wind and Rim once had is completely gone.
Yeah, just like that, it's evaporated. The sun might be shining through right now because I'm not seeing any Wind and Rain. It's Fierce who have brought it back to the 10-10 scoreline. And they should be taking the lead, considering the buy they are up against. Impulse again with the AWP, almost landing the shot, but he takes damage, down to 2 points of health. Ooh, LNZ, though, gets one for his team. The aggression could be successful. Jenko needs to be careful here, making sure he falls back, but he is stuck up close, and he lines them up. So well played from Jenko.
Brody fighting back in the P250, stopped by Impulse on the flick. It's on Tadpole and LNZ now in a 2v3. Tadpole gets aggressive in towards T-Con. We've got LNZ all the way pushed through the brown holes, so got a little bit of information here and a good chance to pick it up with 2 players being very, very low on the T side. Again, a lot of early action in this round, but it slows down
As both teams try to make sure they know exactly what's about to hit them, and Jenko continues to do work on his low health. Tadpole will be a bit frustrated at how that panned out for him. Definitely could have won that fight, but doesn't expect it. Speaking of not expecting it, Ardis did not expect LNZ's position. Finds a nice kill in from that angle, and both of the remaining players are low on the Fierce side. If LNZ can find some fair fights here, he could have a real good chance at this.
Pushing forward, LNZ. The headshot from Jenko connects. A 4K for him. You can see the celebration as well, feeling confident now. Fierce start to settle in. The nerves maybe were going a little bit at the start of this. Wind and Rain definitely came in as the hotter side, but Fierce have picked up the pace. On the second half, they've looked a lot better. And it's funny enough, they have to do the hard work on the T side, the harder half, right? So they're doing a good job so far. And in a way, this would be more impressive if they come back from a 9-6 deficit after starting on the CT side.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this can partly come back to the discussion we had in the pre-show where Ezio was saying that it seems like UK teams always seem to do well on their T side and then struggle once they head into the CT.
It's so weird, right? And I think there's another region that are quite similar to that, and that's generally the CIS region as well. So especially, so the regions are definitely favored based on, you know, the meta that we currently got, because the T side's even stronger nowadays. So maybe that's when the UK teams can start to rise.
Well, we will see. Double AWP setup for Wind and Rain into this round. They're hoping that's the answer to the questions that they've been having in their CT side. And Tadpole could have been caught, but Swaggy in on the other angle makes sure to win the first fight for his team. Again, we're seeing that relentless aggression from Ardis, but he's not been finding too much success with it.
Right. Just looking it towards the A-bomb site. He takes his eyes off the E-box at the wrong time, and Swaggy swings into the open. A second collected as well from Swaggy. Is 3 overall as he goes back for more. He's had quad kill galore in this game, but he's looking for a little bit more.
Has to get the reload off first. Tucked into the E-box, and the pre-fire is going to pay off for him. What a shot from Swaggy. Takes Astro out of the round instantly, and Jenko eventually taps away to get that first onto Ping, but he is so low on health. He did well in the last round when he was low, but I doubt he'll do the same again here. Swaggy in an unexpected position. It's the ace for Swaggy, who has been having so much impact throughout this map.
He stood behind E-box and got 4 kills from that one position. E-box is such a difficult spot to play from as well. You can see he was adjusting his position time and time again. They had no idea where he was. He just stayed there, and he got kill after kill as they kept coming towards him. He's 26 and 17. The closest on his team is on 11 kills.
He really has been the shining light for Wind and Rain. He might have to continue to be, though, as we are even on the scoreboard. 11-11, and Brody not able to land that first shot. The run boost too quick for him to handle.
The reply from here for Fierce has to be a round win on the board, straight away. They can't allow that momentum to start to build and skew again. Here on Wind and Rain, it's going to be Tadpole that falls. Ardis winning. He's aware that there could be a second player here, and Swaggy's coming forward, and Ardis has got that kill as well. Good kills to find as Ardis stands tall. As the push comes in towards Ivy, Brody looking to do his best work, but doesn't land a shot. They know the last whereabouts of the AWP, and they see the barrel. They know he's on E-box, and he'll be dropped by Jenko as well. It's all onto Ping, and the AWP has to save in the showers. So great stuff. The perfect reply from Fierce.
Yeah, and I think this time the difference is that Ardis isn't getting as aggressive early into the round. He's holding back in A main because he doesn't have assistance from his teammates. And that means that he can use his skill much more easily on players pushing his position. Ping spots the first man. Good shot onto Ardis, but you can see on the minimap, Fierce now know exactly where this AWP is, and they want to swarm him. Oh, great shot from Jenko. The SG coming into play. He's also been landing shots for the Fierce side. Up there at 26 frags, even overtaking Impulse at this point. Great stuff coming in from Jenko. Always been a reliable player for this team, and Fierce get back into the lead.
Fierce 4 away from taking the map pick off Wind and Rain. Not on this yet, Wind and Rain though. Still got a chance to fight on. Jenko moving forward, who's been having a nuclear game himself. 26 kills on the board. Looks at 11 deaths, but Astro have a quiet start to the game. Gets the kill here to open things up. Swaggy trades back in the scout, so good damage done. Finally, Swaggy's dealt with. The AWP of Impulse finding success. That brings his kill tally up to 26 as well. NZ moving forward, spots Astro. Astro nearly picking up that kill, but LNZ drops off the top of the blue train, and he's still alive. 3 HP, peeks into the open and gets the timing right. The nade from the grave, though, Fry picks it up.
Oh, and Ping in on the flank, gets 1 for 3. Artist struggling. Needs to put in some more time with the SG, clearly. Molotov going in to try and win this fight. Ping's pushed through, and the USB wins the battle.
What is that run? That you can't lose those if you're fierce, right? You win the gun runs convincingly, but then you go up against a buy like that, and you just fall. They took too much time trying to get out towards T-Con. They had no one watching their backs, right? The flank could come in straight away. Ping comes in with a crucial kill there, and it's 12-12. Again, we are even. This is such an important round for both teams. This is certainly a swing round if you've ever seen one.
It just feels like neither side can really take control of this game right now. It's been so scrappy throughout this game. The question is who can close it out in these last few rounds. Deep smoke into this position. Ardis shouldn't be finding too much this time round. He was able to find 2 kills here previously, but this time Wind and Rain can push in much more safely. And a second smoke, really trying to control this position on the Wind and Rain side.
Flash in towards the B-bomb site. Impulse boosted over the top, trying to spot if the player is to walk up on top of the train, but luckily from the Wind and Rain side, no one is doing so. They're playing passively. Tadpole putting a little bit of aggression in towards T-Con, and he's going to win the fight on the Fry.
Very easy fight for him to win. Fry's running through the flames. Had to rely on the flashbang working, and that is never a position you want to be in. And the time is running down here. Fierce have got to make sure they have a plan in place for the end of this round. They still are spread across the map. Nades being used into this B site, but you can see Fierce on the minimap doubling back. Tadpole not going to be the first man to pull the trigger. It's Ping who goes down. Great shot from Ardis, and Tadpole gets one back.
Well, Wind and Rain certainly looking like the team that are going to win one of the most important rounds of the game so far. Tadpole drops Ardis after 1 kill. It's all on the Impulse. The Serbian sniper with 7 seconds left, backing off, cannot win the round, and wants to stay alive to carry the AWP into the next one. Wind and Rain up 13, and he's dropped after time. He's got $100 in the bank.
Wow. That's never the position you want to find yourself in. Just $100. The rest of the team have got some money, so they'll probably invest into pistols, if that.
The AWPer of your team has the lowest cash count by miles. He is going to be in such a poor position for quite some time. This is the best opportunity yet for Wind and Rain to take this map, to take their map pick and send us to a second. To make a statement in this tournament, really, because this team in the finals considered probably the weakest link by quite a substantial margin.
Ooh, Swaggy doesn't look too aware that there's a player close by. Scoped in on A main right now. Don't know if Ardis is going to move out, though. It's only a couple of deegs for Fierce in this round, and here we go. The timing is everything. Swaggy able to react, though. Good kill onto Ardis at the start of the round, and the rifles should be fairly heavily favored at this point.
Definitely should be. And this is the kind of round, if they win it convincingly, Wind and Rain, this will sort of calm their nerves a little bit, right? They start to feel a little bit more confident. You know, you've got a buffer to play with now, and you're starting to feel like you can win enough rounds to get it over the line. 44 seconds.
Wow, they're going to try and just land some shots with those digs. Swaggy, nice work alongside the rest of the riflers. Always nice to have the SG on the CT side. Again, Swaggy having impact as he has had throughout the entirety of this map. Fierce looking somewhat dejected at this point, but they need to get their heads in the game. Only 2 rounds down. They have got a bye, albeit a weakened one, with Impulse not having as much money. He has to take the hit, while the rest of the team get a solid bye together. And this time, Wind and Rain put the molly into A main, trying to stop the early aggression, but it comes through anyway. Lineup coming in, and Wind and Rain get some easy early frags.
Molotov in towards T-Con, Impulse forced back in towards Spawn. 2-man advantage here on the CT side, looking really solid right now, Wind and Rain. Fierce not doing a whole lot. They've got a lot of work to do as well to come back into this. This is a round they can't let slip. It has to come back to that point where they lost against the low buy. Fierce were in a position where they could have closed the game. They could have taken Train away from them. They were looking in a position that was capable of doing so, but Wind and Rain have just looked a bit better at every turn. Here comes in and drops Ping to 31, who has been a bit of an unsung hero for me. He's found a lot of crucial kills in this game.
We'll see if that can continue. Fierce are going to need some crucial kills of their own to come back into this round from the 3v5. Swaggy again up there at 32 frags right now, but it's Fierce we have to look at. Astro's been able to find them the opening kill. Smoke goes out from Fierce, gives them a bit more cover to work with as they try and move into this A site, but they've all taken damage. And there's the first kill from Swaggy. Tadpole is waiting in the wings, but it's all Swaggy. He gets 2, and Tadpole is in position to close out the round. Just 1 away from picking up the win here on Train.
Look at the hype from Tadpole. He said they were trash, and well, he's living up to his trash talk as well here. He's showing up, and this is a really good showing. I mean, if you trash talk and you make outrageous comments like that, and you don't back it up and you get banged out, then you look a little bit stupid. But he's actually showing up here, and he's doing the work against them. Wind and Rain currently in control. Swaggy on 34 kills. He's had an absolute blinder of the game here on Train. Fierce Esports. Nate comes in and drops Impulse to 51 HP. Immediately, the follow-up in as well. And Wind and Rain, really solid stuff. Oh, no, though. Tadpole is going to be blinded and dropped by the Galil. Swaggy finds the trade immediately and keeps it even. 4v4. Fierce Esports gathering outside of the B-bomb site. The bomb on its way there as well. It's going to be the last stand from Fierce Esports. Can they get it done?
LNZ's in a decent angle here on the hold. This position's normally good for one, and the SG is going to be put to use. Flash in for the reface, and he doesn't get the kill. Galil comes out on top. They can get onto the site in a 3v3, but Ping's got one back.
Ping finds the kills on Fry and Jenko to try and get this done for Fierce, to try and keep the team alive as Wind and Rain push forward to try and find the first map win of the Premiership Winter Finals. It's going to be Fry with the headshot coming back forward. They're so low. The spray from Jenko not good enough.
So low on the Fierce side, like you said. Just one shot will do it. There's the kill from Ping. It's all on Fry. In from upper. He's got the molly. There's no smoke on the CT side. They can get on the bomb, though. They're on the bomb right now. Brody defusing on the backside, and Ping lands the shot. Wind and Rain come away with the win.
Wind and Rain, the team to pick up the first map here. A massive upset coming in here. Fierce are going to be feeling a little bit rough, shaking perhaps after that first showing. The first half was not good enough on that CT side.